we're reacting to every anime genre explained in 12 minutes by Arikendo. Shout out to Arikendo. Shout out to you. Join the God Gang. Subscribe. Without further ado, let's get it.
Shonen is one of the biggest anime genres, even though it's the most misunderstood, because it's not actually an anime genre. Shonen directly translates to boy, meaning that it's less of a genre and more of a demographic. And even though shonen is technically targeted towards young boys, a huge amount of people outside that demographic also consume shonen anime, making it a pretty useless distinction when trying to differentiate them. For example, Death Note and Chainsaw Man are both published in shonen magazines, making them both technically shonen even though their tones and themes couldn't be farther apart. This makes shonen a very nebulous term when describing anime. But anime fans will still use shonen as a genre, but when you hear this, you can assume that they're usually talking about battle shonen. This is an actual genre because it does consist of shonen anime where the primary focus is on battles, usually with superhuman abilities like My Hero Academia or Bleach. The first modern battle shonen that popularized the genre would probably be Dragon Ball. Examples of great battle shonen that follow in Dragon Ball's footsteps would be Hunter x Hunter or Naruto. Examples of more mature shonen would be Full Metal Alchemist or Death Note. Comedy anime are
I forget Full Metal Alchemist is a shonen.
Usually get a bad rep from the anime community for, well, not making us laugh. But it's important to remember that as English viewers, we lose a lot of context when anime is translated. Sometimes Japanese humor relies on wordplay to inject humor into an exchange, which can often get lost on us. Another gripe anime fans have with a lot of comedy anime is that they'll heavily rely on a single joke, with changes only happening to the surrounding context or situation. But this isn't always a bad thing. Examples of good comedy anime that focus on a single punchline are One Punch Man or Sakamoto.
One Punch Man is funny. Sakamoto. Oh my god, Sakamoto is hilarious. Nah, that show is funny as hell. This nigga got stuck in like, hold on, let me fix this stupid ass light. What's wrong with this stupid ass light? This nigga got like stuck in like the attic or some shit, and that shit was on fire. And this nigga's swag alone just helped him get out of that, bro. Like, this nigga is just, you want to talk about aura. This nigga had aura before we even started talking about aura, bro. I swear.
Don't rely on a single joke would be Nichijou or Saiki-K.
Saiki-K is hilarious
a much less
too.
recognized term to most casual anime viewers, but it essentially just translates to youth, as in it is targeted towards young adults, specifically adult males. Seinen is again not a genre, but instead a demographic. An easy way to tell if a manga is published in a seinen magazine is if they directly use the word young. One of the most widely known seinen manga, Berserk, was originally published in a magazine called Young Animal, which often contains pinups along chapters of the manga. Because seinen manga are targeted towards an older audience, they often deal with much darker themes and storylines.
Probably have no chest. Respectfully.
Saga, where themes of revenge and slavery are prominent, and Berserk, which is personally my favorite thing of all time.
Man, Berserk
Sci-fi is
great.
an anime genre with a heavy emphasis on technology or futuristic elements, and it is significantly different from Western sci-fi. Sci-fi used to be a very popular genre in anime, most likely originating in the anime Astro.
What's the most recent sci-fi anime that came out? Cause sci-fi anime, all of it's hella underrated. Like Psycho-Pass? Psycho-Pass was fire.
However, the golden age of sci-fi is widely regarded to be in the 80s and 90s, meaning that many anime fans aren't well versed in the best sci-fi anime, including Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and Cowboy Bebop. It's worth noting that shows like these popularized the cyberpunk genre across the world.
Cyberpunk probably is,
Cyberpunk Edgerunners if you're looking for a modern sci-fi anime.
Cyberpunk is great.
Is a controversial genre among anime fans that most avoid because a lot of people find it boring. The
slice of life fucking
is, like the name
fire,
implies, to capture a slice of someone's regular day-to-day life. It's usually characterized by a much slower pace with more emphasis on what we would consider mundane experiences. Some people think that slice of life means no development happens across the series, but that's not necessarily true. Oftentimes, the genre is paired with comedy, drama, or romance. Early slice of life anime that were very influential include Azumanga Daioh, Hidamari Sketch, and Lucky Star.
I've never seen any of these.
Slice of life to enjoy, I would recommend Kobayashi Dragon Maid.
Ooh, Dragon Maid's so fire. Dragon Maid's amazing. Oh, my nigga, Hori, and
Slice of life to enjoy.
What is his name?
Kobayashi Dragon Maid or Nanon Biori. Romance is another.
What's my nigga name? Is it Miyamoto? No. Fuck. I don't remember his name. I'm so mad. I
Genre
never
because
remember his
often takes
name.
way too long for anything to actually happen relationship-wise, but this can be chalked up to cultural differences. In Western shows, the romance genre isn't necessarily about whether the couple will get together. It's about if their relationship will stand the test of time. But with romance anime, it's more often about if their relationship will happen at all. That's why oftentimes a romance anime will take its time getting the main characters together. There are also many common tropes in which a person mishears the other confession, causing the entire relationship dynamic to be reset. This can be frustrating, and personally, I hate the trope too. So if you want some good romance anime that still take a while to develop but don't use those tropes, check out Kaguya-sama or Golden Time. If you want a romance anime
Kaguya-sama's
that's more
fire.
akin to Western TV shows, check out Horimiya, although I will say that I think the manga is better. Isekai literally translates to
You're right.
different or other world. It's technically a subgenre of fantasy that revolves
This is the thing. This is the thing about Isekai. Why? Like, I feel like I don't think it's getting oversaturated, but I feel like it's getting oversaturated. Cause it's like, why am I seeing these shows with these long? First of all the titles are long as fuck. Like, I don't understand that. Why are all the titles? I died and got reincarnated as a bottle of lotion, but like bro, like I don't know, like. Now I gotta hear about this nigga jerk off stories. I don't know what this tangent went into, but these fucking isekai animes, bro. Like, why am I watching this vending machine? Why did this nigga get turned into a vending machine? In the show, the shows be fire. That's why I be pissed. They be fire. They're not ass. I'm like, why are these shows ass? That vending machine show was tough, bro. Like, oh my god. Shout out to the vending machine, bruh.
revolves around a person from our world being transported into a fantasy one. This can happen through many different ways, but in Isekai it usually happens using a portal or reincarnation. While many people think of Isekai as a modern genre, it's actually a very old genre. The idea of going to another world was always a popular one. I mean, think about it. Alice in Wonderland came out in 1865. Really the first isekai, if you ask me. But if we're talking about modern isekai anime, the originator can actually be traced back to Zero no Tsukaima, which helped popularize Naruto web novels. If you want to learn more about the history of modern isekai, check out the video I made on that subject. But basically, Zero no Tsukaima fanfiction is actually what inspired light novels like Re:Zero, which in turn inspired stories like Mushoku Tensei. However, the popularity of adapting light novels into
Mushoku
anime
Tensei
really
is great.
began with Sword Art Online and its huge success.
Sword
despite the
Art
fact
was
that
so
SEO isn't
good.
really a isekai to begin with.
Damn,
Fantasy is a
that beginning of Sword Art was hell good, bro. The beginning of Sword Art, and I hear it's fire now. It's just I don't want to watch it. That's really it.
all-encompassing term for any story with fantastical elements. This means that it can actually
Fear,
include
that's
shonen
my
fantasy
bitch, bruh.
like Hunter x Hunter or Full Metal Alchemist, but it also includes high fantasy like Freerun. It covers dark fantasy like Claymore or Berserk, but it also covers historical fantasy like Demon Slayer or Inuyasha. While in the
Okay.
West, we tend to think of fantasy as mainly just high fantasy. This is because Tolkien's work have been so influential to our art. In anime, fantasy usually takes inspiration from a many number of things. So in a certain sense, you could say
Ooh,
that
the one
fantasy is
at
of
the
biggest
bottom left
genres
look
in anime
crazy.
as a whole, and for that reason,
going
it's hard to
stupid.
give a specific recognition for the genre. Shojo is another demographical term and not necessarily a genre. It directly translates to girl, so shoujo anime are more often targeted towards younger girls. Shoujo anime tend to be romances or dramas, but a big subgenre that emerged from shoujo is the magical girls genre, where girls transform into superheroes with magic powers. One of the first examples of a shoujo anime is Sally the Witch, who is technically a magical girl. However, not all magical girl anime are shoujos, as again, shoujo is a demographic and not a genre-defining term. Other important shoujo anime include The Rose of Versailles and Sailor Moon. If I had to pick a shoujo series that acts as a sort of originating point for modern shoujo, I might pick Fruit Baskets or Sailor Moon. But to be honest, as a guy, I don't really watch much shoujo, and I'm pretty unqualified to talk about this in particular. So if anyone in the comments has a better idea of what series really popularized modern shoujo, let me know. Anyway, recommendations for modern shoujo that I enjoy would be Yona of the Dawn and My Next Life as a Villainess, which is actually a new subgenre of isekai that involves someone entering the world of a dating sim for women, but as the villain. I also suspect that this villainess subgenre will continue to grow. Josei is another demographical term, but it translates to woman, meaning that most Josei anime are targeted towards adult adult women. However, like shonen and seinen, the lines between shoujo and josei are very blurry. In fact, the thumbnail for this video uses Nana as a josei anime, but Nana is actually a shoujo anime because it was published in a shoujo magazine. Now, the reason I still put in the thumbnail is because I haven't actually watched any major josei anime, and this is the only mature shoujo anime I've tried. That being said, I can't give any great recommendations, so I'm just using my animalist catalog here, and using that, good modern josei anime to try would be Chihaya Firu and Rakugo Shinju. Sports anime is one of the oldest and long-lasting genres, usually depicting a high school or collegiate sports team and their journey. Because sports anime vary widely based on the sport itself, they are all pretty different, but if I were to point to a show that exemplifies modern sports anime, it would be Slam Dunk. The Slam Dunk manga single-handedly increased the popularity of basketball across Japan, and in the same vein, Haikyuu has done the same for men's volleyball across Japan. These are examples of more realistic sports anime though, and it's worth noting that there are more unrealistic sports anime where characters border on the line of superhuman. Prince of Tennis and Kuroko no Basket are good examples of shows like this, where characters are pulling off insane moves that aren't usually possible. If you want a good modern sports anime, I would personally recommend Blue Block. I think the manga is better. Ecchi is a slang term in the Japanese language that means different things in different contexts. It can be an adjective meaning sexy, dirty, or naughty. It can be a verb meaning to have sex, and it can even be a noun where someone is basically a pervert. Ecchi as a genre is characterized by hypersexualized moments in a show, often dubbed as fan service, where the plot will bend backwards to force its characters in certain positions. Although shows can have a little bit of fan service and not be an ecchi, when a show regularly pounds these scenes to the viewer or places emphasis on the sexual themes in the show, it qualifies as an ecchi. Now, it's worth noting that ecchi isn't really a genre you'll find on its own, because if you only wanted sexual content in a show, then, well, you might as well watch hentai.
Alright guys, I just got these brand new headphones.
Mecha is a very old subgenre of sci-fi that's all about giant robots. A big reason that it's gotten so popular is because of the toys that were marketed towards Japanese citizens. In Mecha, there are two main subgenres, super robot and real robots. Super robots often refer to supersized, impossible-looking mechas, while real robots try and match real-world physics and limitations. Before Gundam, super robots were the most popular subgenre, but Mobile Suit Gundam caused a revolution in the mecha genre, popularizing the real robot. However, that wasn't the end of the super robot genre. Evangelion popularized the super robot genre once again. And although the mecha genre is still widely popular, owing favors to super fans who buy and build Gunplas, its popularity has definitely dwindled in the last decade. If you want recommendations of solid mecha shows today, I would recommend you Evangelion and one of my all-time favorites, Code Geass. More modern iterations of Gundam that are supposedly good are Iron Blooded Orphans and The Witch from Mercury. The music anime genre is a little interesting, because in the West, many of us associate the music genre with musicals, where characters will break out into song and dance like in Disney movies. But from my knowledge, there are very few anime that are actual musicals, which is probably a cultural difference. When music is heavily used in an anime, it's because the anime's focus is on music itself. So it's better to think of music as a genre like sports, where the main characters are usually involved in making the music themselves. Popular anime in the music genre include Love Live, which started the anime idol trend, K-On!, which greatly popularized the slice of life and music genres, and if you want a modern music anime that's mixed with comedy, I would really recommend Bocchi the Rock. The Harem genre is a subgenre of romance that heavily focuses on polyamorous relationships, typically with one male and many females. Sometimes the genre can be twisted into a reverse harem, where the woman is a main character with multiple male love interests. Personally, I'm still waiting for the bisexual terror that is a mixed harem, but anime is clearly too scary.
I wasn't ready for that at all. What was that one? That's the new show that came out. It's like he has like 100 girlfriends. I watched the first
harem
episode.
as a genre gained popularity due to
I ain't gonna lie, that show's
which
a big
explains why
fan.
most harem anime used to be based on visual novels. Most anime fans look down on harem anime because they're pretty unrealistic in portraying how a boring average guy can pull so many baddies. But let's be honest, the vast majority of harem anime is for horny teenagers who want to self-insert with the main character. But at the same time, there are a good amount of harem anime that still use its premise to tell a compelling story, which often leads to something called a shipping war, where fans choose their best waifu in hopes that they end up with the main character, aka some of these people need to touch.
I have gone through the I have gone through the quintuplet wars, and You know,
They end up with
I'm not gonna tell you who I'm picking.
aka some of these people need to touch grass.
But, like,
An anime that helped create this trend and
I've been
caused the
through
harem
it,
genre
you know?
to
I'm
explode
not
in
gonna,
popularity
you
was
know.
Love Hina. Examples of modern shows that have a battle royale of baddies would be quintessential quintuplets. If you want examples of a harem that I think
That
are
show's
genuinely
good.
good, I would recommend
Like-
The World Only God Knows and 100 Girlfriends.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, this show's fire.
Just for being a little more realistic, but also fun in the development of all the romances. If you found any mistakes in the video, leave a comment, because
Quintuplet's
as much as I've been
fire
watching
too, bro.
anime, you know, damn near a decade now, obviously I can't watch every single genre the same. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Ari Kendo, man. Thank y'all for watching. This be your boy, your God. I'm out of here. Peace.